Hello friends, it's that time again. Let's talk about H5N1 and the clusterfuck that is this. Plus the members of the USDA who, despite being laid off from their job over the week, still worked through the weekend to publish an update on avian flu before they left. This is despite the fact that they received this horrifying letter in their termination. Another dairy in Nevada has tested positive, still that D1.1 or the more lethal version of this, which if it continues to spread through cows means this might become the dominant strain worldwide, and that is a very bad news for all of us. This means that Nevada has had 40% of their herds infected in 70 days. To give some comparison, it took Colorado 110 days to get 60% of their herds infected, and California has had 75% infected in 175 days. Also, these herds end up being quarantined for 100 to 110 days, or roughly a third of a year, before they are able to fully clear the virus. Thus far, I've not seen any updates on fatality rates on the farms in Nevada. Definitely would like to know more information there. Rats have joined the party as an infected species in Riverside County, California. More cats have been discovered, and we finally got that study from the CDC showing possible transmission between humans and cats and vice versa. You know, the one they sat on for 3 weeks, because hiding the data makes it go away, obviously. But you know, when even Bloomberg is talking about the bird flu, they are concerned. And they should be, because the loss of birds is so profound that the cost of replacement birds is skyrocketing. And it's gotten to the point where a major West Michigan egg producer is calling for the vaccination of egg-laying hens to help slow this down. Our new USDA secretary has proposed 2 options to help slow things down. One is to attempt to separate dead birds from living birds and not kill off the rest of the population until a flock clears the virus, or attempt to vaccinate populations. Though given that we have such an anti-vax administration, I don't know if they'll get the buy-in from the rest of the administration to do that, even if we had enough vaccines to do it, which we do not. But here's the downsides of doing that choice. It could take up to 2 weeks for a flock to clear the infection. At its current fatality rate, 80% of the birds will die, horrible, painful deaths, and many of the survivors will not survive okay. And my bigger fear is how many workers are going to get exposed and get infected from having to go in every hour and clear out dead birds in an extremely crowded, hot environment, where they're going to be surrounded by a high concentration of viral matter. Because even if their farm gives them all of the PPE that they need and they wear it, that's still a lot of prolonged exposure, and those are crowded, hot environments. They're not likely to wear the PPE or wear it correctly the entire time that they're there, again, increasing their risks of exposure and therefore more human hosts. So that's not awesome. Several counties in Ohio have issued states of emergency because of this outbreak. On the international front, there is an outbreak in Australia and one in Belgium. Canada sees what's up and has just purchased avian influenza vaccine to protect individuals most at risk. Meanwhile, in the US, our government's busy trying to figure out how to ban the COVID vaccine. So that tells you how well things are going here. Fuck. We had 2 more human cases, both of which required hospitalization, one in Ohio and another in Wyoming who's currently hospitalized in Colorado. The Ohio farmer has been discharged as far as I know. The Wyoming woman hasn't, though we've had no other updates on her case. Hers was from a backyard flock. Ohio was from a dairy farm. Michigan has now joined the list of states that are doing mandatory subtyping for H5N1 in all positive influenza A samples from hospitalized patients. Lehigh, I think, Valley in Pennsylvania has called for all of their hospitals to prepare for human cases of bird flu. People see this coming, not just me. All of this against a backdrop of the highest flu cases we've had since 1998. I don't have to tell you how bad that is. So are all of those cases H5N1? Absolutely not. But do I suspect that we are missing cases of H5N1? I don't just suspect it. I know it. If you've been watching my H5N1 videos for a while, you might remember me talking in September. You might remember me talking about a serology study that they were undertaking at a veterinary conference. And the data's out. It was originally supposed to be published the last week of January, but it wasn't because of that same pause. And let me be clear, this is our fucking data. We pay for this. Our tax dollars pay for this. They have no right to withhold it from us, but I digress. Of the 150 veterinarians who signed up for this, 3 had signs of previous infections. Now, the real kicker is that 2 of them did not have any known exposure to animals with H5N1, and 1 of them worked in a state where there weren't even any known infections at the time, which likely means that we are not testing enough and that far more animals have this than we thought. Now, the good news is that none of them were severely infected, 1 of them didn't even remember being infected at all, and they're all still alive. Though I wonder if there were any unknown causes of death or deaths from sudden illness within the veterinary population that didn't get tested because they didn't show up to that conference because they had already died. I don't know. That would be my next question. One that I doubt this administration will be bothering to ask. More and more data is coming out showing that not only do humans get this directly from animals, but that this is also transmitting on dust plumes. There was this data out of the Czech Republic showing a travel of about 8 kilometers, and another one showing a crossing of state lines from a duck farm in Pennsylvania. So even being outside may not protect you from windborne bird droppings or aerosols from infected farms. So now, more than ever, masking is key. It doesn't just protect you from H5N1, it also protects you from norovirus, COVID, the seasonal flu, and a myriad of other respiratory illnesses that you don't want. The higher the quality of the mask, the better, but the key is consistency. Wear it. If you stop masking for whatever reason, now is the time to definitely start masking again. Because I suspect that we are having an increase in H5N1 cases in humans, whether they're coming from direct to animal to human cases, wild populations to human cases, or human to human cases. I think that at least some of these cases of the flu are H5N1. Maybe it's not transmitting well between humans yet. Maybe it's still a small number. Maybe the fatality is dropping because of mutations. We don't know, and we are not doing enough testing to know. But even if H5N1 isn't what's driving this massive wave of the flu, we are still experiencing one of the worst waves of the flu that we've had in the last century, since the 1900s. So masking is definitely your friend. I will also just point out that the timeline of this is accelerating. We went from no hospitalizations in August to 3 additional human hospitalizations and 1 death in less than 2 months. I don't like where this data is going. Things are definitely happening at a rapid rate. So mask up, make sure you got your flu shot, because you don't want the seasonal flu either. And just keep paying attention, and I'll keep trying to share all the news that's fit to print. Stay safe, everybody.